In my 15 years in financial services, I've seen the same 7 money behaviors keeping people stuck. And most people, they don't even realize they're doing it. They're saving, they're working hard, but at the same time, every year, they feel like they're still stuck in the same spot. So today, I'm going to break down the 7 biggest money mistakes, and more importantly, I'm going to show you guys how to fix them. With that being said, let's jump into it. The first issue is focus and where people are saving their money. You see, people typically feel like they're doing something good, but like a lot of you that have followed our channel, you guys know I always say, feeling is not good enough. I like knowing that I'm on a good pace. But the reason why these people feel like they're doing something right is because they're putting money in their 401k and then they just put money in a savings account. But there's 2 pieces of this that are wrong. First of all, if you're putting your money in a 401k or a retirement plan or whatnot, those 401ks, 403bs are meant to only be a part of your retirement, not the whole thing. That's number 1. Number 2 is that when you have money in a checking account or a savings account, oftentimes it's actually getting eaten away by inflation, meaning you're actually losing purchasing power of your money over time. You should be investing that money. However, a lot of people don't know where they should be investing it at. So the simple solution here is trying to understand what other types of accounts should you be using so that way you can have more of your money working for you in investments. The second financial behavior that's keeping people back is work. And what I mean by that is a lot of people never ask for a raise. Most of the time they just go for the standard raises, which is like 2 to 3% per year. And that's all they ask for. Actually, most of the time, they don't even ask. They just say, here's my raise, and they're okay with it. The other thing that they don't do when it comes to work is actually look for other jobs. People get into this habitual grind of this is where I work, this is what I'm doing, I should look for another job, but then 5 years go by and they haven't looked. Now, this doesn't always mean you move to a different job, because I have this thing, the grass is not always greener somewhere else. But that doesn't mean that you don't interview for those jobs and you can see what the fair market price is of what somebody would be able to hire you. Because if someone else is willing to hire you at a higher pay, you could then go back to your job and say, hey, this is what the market rate is. This is what I've potentially gotten in an offer. Can you guys give me more money? And it gives you some leverage to negotiate. And so this is an obvious fix. Even if you don't want to switch jobs, still go out and do interviews, and so that way you can figure out, am I actually getting compensated accurately? The third problem is what I call the I'm rich problem. And this happens to people that make a lot of money, and sometimes people that make a lot of money that they don't even realize it. First of all, those that actually make a lot of money, they assume just because they have a high salary, they're financially successful. But that's the opposite of the truth. The reality is a lot of those individuals are living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, now other people that I know that might not be making like 400 or 500 grand a year, but they're making like 100 grand a year, they don't even realize it. They are rich. They are having a high income because that puts them in the top 25 percentile of income in this country. But they don't feel like they're rich. They don't feel like that income is doing anything for them. Now the solution to both of these problems is having a plan. If you don't have a plan, you don't know where your money's going or what you should be doing to invest or what you should be doing to pay off your debt. So you're just driving blindly. And when you don't have a plan, the more important piece is you're going to continue feeling stressed. Because even if you have income or you are paying off some debt or whatnot, you might feel like, there's that key word again, you might feel like you're doing the right thing, but you don't know that you are. The plan solves that. Hey guys, real quick, if you're still watching this video, it's because you're getting value from it. We enjoy making these videos, and when you subscribe to the channel, it helps us grow, which allows us to keep making more and more videos. So if you get a chance, please hit the subscribe button. With that being said, let's jump back into the video. Now, the fourth behavioral problem actually is related to the third one, and that is people consuming. The issue here is they don't track anything with their money and where it's going. Now, this isn't to say you need to sit there and look at every single penny every single day. No. I don't even do that. That's ridiculous. But going back to the third issue and the solution to that, this is where a plan comes in. Because when you have a plan, You know exactly what you should be doing. What's the important part versus what's the noise? And as long as you're following the important parts, well, then what you consume is not a big deal because you're following the important part of your financial plan. Now, the fifth behavior is people dream of being wealthy. They dream of being financially free, and they take no steps to ever do it. And this is one of the things that, from my own behavioral standpoint, being in financial services, I had to get over, because when I first started, I wanted to help everybody. And when somebody wouldn't actually do like the plan that we put together, it would pain me. Then I came to realize, for example, if 1,000 people watch this video, about 300 of them, or 1/3, will turn around and actually take action. About 1/3 will be motivated and say, I need to take action, and then they just never do it. And then about 1/3 will watch this and actually probably only watch the first 15 seconds because they have no intention to even do it. They're not even going to reach this portion of the video. Now, behavior number 6 is one of my favorite because I always laugh at this. And my wife is guilty of this all the time. She uses it to try to convince me to buy something. And that is buying something on sale, right? Like we'll say something like, oh, it's 25% off or it's 50% off. Like, I'm saving money. The reality is you're still spending money. It's just less than what you were before. So you still have to sit there and say, am I going to actually use this? Now, there is some good things you can use, like buy on sale. Like, for example, we have a fake Christmas tree and Christmas tree light or house lights for Christmas that we put on the house. We bought those the week after Christmas because they were on sale because we knew that we were going to be using it. That's good. But what I'm referring to is just buying stuff because they're on sale. And a lot of times I see this with like clothes. We see that all the time. Or a company's going out of business and so it's like, oh, we need to buy this. It's for sale. And it's like, well, we're never going to use it. So how do you actually fix that behavior? Ask yourself, how often am I actually going to use whatever it is that I'm going to buy? And you should be asking yourself that every time you buy something, not just when it's on sale. And the last behavior, people say they want financial freedom, but they never invest the time to learn. By you watching this entire video, that tells me that you do want to learn. So great, keep going with that. But the one big piece I encourage you to learn is something that I brought up multiple times in this video. And that is how to create a plan that takes out all this noise so you can focus on what's important and track what's important. And to do that, you should watch this video next.